We have Brother Clyde Johnson. He is one of the charter members of the Lambda Nu chapter in Franklin, Virginia.
Clyde Johnson, lived in Franklin, Virginia now. Grew up in South Carolina. Went to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. And that's where I was inducted into Omega through Epsilon chapter while I was there in college. I was impressed with the Omega leadership on the campus, because at that time Omegas were like in charge of everything going on the campus, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I was inducted into the fraternity through Epsilon chapter in Columbia, South Carolina.
What was your major in college, and what were some of the activities, I guess, going forward into your job, some of the things that you have done over the years?
And when I was at Benedict, we were involved in some things like voter registration, for an example. Another thing that was important to us and that we were involved with was the civil rights movement during that time. So we went downtown Columbia and we sat in and demonstrated. Some of us went to jail, some of us did not. And we were always ready to help out in where we can in the community and in Columbia, as well as community in our local hometowns. I grew up in Atlanta, South Carolina, and after I graduated from college, I went back to Atlanta to work. And being there, and chapel was not available in that area, so I was not associated with Omega the first 3 years after my graduation. But there again, I was interested in voter registration and doing the things in the community that would promote the community as a whole. Working in South Carolina for 3 years, I moved to Virginia, Franklin. And while I was here, I was, when I came here, I was employed at Riverview High School. The principal there was Paul David Baird. He was a Q. And there was not a chapter in Franklin at that time. So the local Qs within the Southampton and the Franklin community, they went over to Suffolk to join Alpha Iota during that time. But as the number of Qs began to grow in the Franklin and Southampton area, Paul D. Vance sort of envisioned a need for a chapter to be established in Franklin. Thus, Lambda Nu came about, and at that time, we had 11 members to start Lambda Nu. And of those 11 members now, only 2 of them are left. We have 9 deceased and 2 still living, Herman Charity and myself. And as Omega would have it, Lambda Nu has been bringing in new people. Some of them have stayed with us. Some of them have gone other places for employment opportunity. But nonetheless, we have brought in some good men that are doing good work in the community, and we've been reaching out. Of course, there's always a need to reach out more to the community, because there's always things out there that need to be done. We're not going to ever reach the point whereas we are doing everything in the community that we can do. So there's always a need to do more and move forward as we work toward the goals of Omega. When you talk about manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift, these are things that are like our ongoing projects in the life of Omega. Not only Omega, but in the life of any man that should happen. So we are still out there bringing people in and doing what we can to further promote these cardinal principles.
So what would be some, I guess, future direction?
In the future, Lambda Nu should reach out to those people within the community that already possess the qualities that Omega is looking for, and we should strive to bring them in. And as we bring in more people, more men that are in tune with the goals of Omega, then we'll have more people to reach out and we can do more. as I said, there's always going to be a need to do more in the community, but the main thrust is to make sure, as much as we can, to bring in those men that are already interested in doing the things in the community that we are now doing. And I envision that we should seek good men, seek men that are already in line with the things that we're doing, and bring those in.
So what would be some, I guess, final remarks that you may want to leave as far as for the public or the fraternity brothers, or any last thoughts that you may want to leave?
I think there's an idea of being committed to the fraternity and placing the fraternity at a higher priority on our list. I think sometimes as we come in, we forget about the oath that we took, and as a result, the fraternity itself is not put on a high enough priority. A lot of us come in for the glory, come in to wear the paraphernalia, come in for the hype. But once all that's gone and real work settle in, we tend to dwindle away. But the idea of being committed to the task, committed to what Omega is all about, I think that's where an emphasis needs to be placed. And going forward in Lambda Nu, I recommend that we think about commitment and recommitting ourselves to the ideas and principles of the fraternity.